So we're going to be taking a look at Fortnite running on the AMD R5 5500U. Now, we recently actually took a look at this game before running on this chip, but here you could see that we are running it this time at 720p with a 100% resolution scaling set. And we're going to compare what it performs like at 720p, at 900p, and at 1080p. Now, I also want to point out the fact that I did try it with the performance API, but the performance was actually really bad. So, ironically, trying to get better performance with the performance API ruined the performance. So, we're going to be doing all the testing with the X11, which was giving the most consistent performance. So with that being said, starting off, we're looking at 720p. So this is 720p running at the lowest possible settings with DirectX 11 as the render API. The performance here was decent. You know, the 1% lows are kind of the biggest issue here. The averages are looking very good. The FPS right now looks very good. But there is still a moment of stutter here and there, and you can see that with the 1% lows there. Interestingly enough, though, this is a reoccurring thing no matter what resolution we look at. So we're going to be letting it play out a little bit here. This game I actually ended up losing, ended up in 3rd place, but we performed pretty well, and I don't think that we were being held back by the system at all. Now, if we turn up the resolution to 900p, you'll see that the performance actually does not change that much. We're still within the same range as 720p. Where the averages are currently at, 76. We were kind of in the low 80s before. So not a huge drop off. And the 1% lows are pretty similar, and it has to do with that kind of irregular stutter that happens here and there that kind of just brings down the 1% lows. So really, 900p, you don't really sacrifice much at all. I was able to play the game perfectly fine like this. I actually ended up winning this match. And I never felt like I was being held back by the system, so I was very impressed by its performance at 900p. And last but not least, we're looking at 1080p running on this chip, and honestly, the performance is again not that bad. It's not that far off from 900p. It really seems like the game itself is kind of just hovering around the same range of performance, so 1080p is completely doable. There is a noticeable stutter, of course, here and there, but you'll even see the 1% lows right now are looking a bit better. And it just has to do with how inconsistent the stuttering was. I played multiple games at each resolution, and it was just kind of a toss-up on what those 1% lows were going to look like. So overall, I'd say just play the game at 1080p, honestly. If it's going to be similar FPS, might as well get the better resolution. Of course, this was another one of those games that I actually managed to win. So again, it was not the hardware holding me back or anything like that. That pretty much, like, if anything, the worst performing game of the ones we saw is the one with the lowest resolution. So, just turn up the resolution, I guess, on this chip.